Chuck's, legend is bigger than himself, like most legends are. But the true impact that Chuck had in the community was he directly affected crime.
The very first person that I heard of was, you got to get Chuck Perry. You got to have Chuck Perry on this squad if you want to catch bad guys in Tallahassee.
He's a great guy, number one. Hard worker throughout his entire career. I think he retired around 2015. Up until the very last day, he's running and gunning, chasing after bad guys.
He's probably the most infamous law enforcement officer in our region. Every community I've ever worked in, they all ask about Chuck. Hey, where's Chuck? Is Chuck in the bushes? Everybody knows who Chuck Perry is.
The drug dealers feared Chuck. If they knew Chuck was out working, they would just not sell drugs during that time. He had CIs all over the place, confidential informants all over the place, and they would call us because they wanted their neighborhoods to be safe, just like everybody else. Everybody wanted their neighborhoods to be safe, and they knew that Chuck was going to work harder than anybody else to make that happen.
Chuck had more CIs than anybody. The entire vice unit, he had more people that would tell him information. The guy'd be calling him and telling him where a wanted person was or where somebody was slinging dope, and he'd go out and start making arrests on that type of information. So he had more informants than anybody that I've known.
We'd be at a house making an arrest, and they would be cussing Chuck for everything he was worth, everything that they could call him, bad name-wise.
While he's standing right in front of them.
While he's standing in front of them, and then 5 minutes later, Chuck comes around a corner and he's like, hey, I know where such and such is, because the person that was cussing him, it was all show. And not 5 minutes later, they had Chuck around the corner telling Chuck where somebody else was wanted.
A lot of people don't know, Chuck would go on his days off on a Sunday or a Saturday, and he would bring a pair of shoes that he just bought from somebody that he arrested the day before. Maybe he saw one of their family members or one of their children needed shoes. He would go on his own time, on his day off, buy clothes for the kid, bring it back to the house, give it to the mom. And that's why a lot of people in the community actually know Chuck. They know that, he's someone who truly cared about the community, a true community officer.
The thing that always stood out to me about Chuck was his compassion, that he just loved people. And he truly could relate and talk to people because he cared about them. And people reciprocated that to him. He truly was and is a legend among not only just law enforcement, but in our community.